I am Vladimir, President of Russian Empire. Sorry, USSR. No, wait. Russian Federation. Good. Here in Mother Russia, we have historic right to rule over all countries in this area. Thanks to silly 80s Russia, we let great communist empire fall from within our grip. This silly mistake. Boo, silly 80s Russia. They must be so busy listening to Wham and wearing jean shirts, they forget to rule world. Oh well, we still have a lot of power, running many countries as puppets for our secret empire. Shh, it's top secret. Lately, however, we get many peoples trying to go and join with the NATO and join with the European Union, particularly those troublesome peoples in the so-called country of Ukraine. Bah! Peoples forget that they are part of Russia. This Ukraine they speak of is nothing but fake news, and it makes Vladimir very sad. So I'm here today to help make clear for silly Western peoples who go get involved with their sanctions and their no flights and their no releasing new Batman movie in Russia, Visvolochy. It is easy to remember. This Ukraine is not real country. This Russia, it big, powerful, scary country that destroy Ukraine and then take over the world. You get it? Good. Ukraine bad, Russia good. Simple.
PoliticsWATCH is in no way implying that Compare the Meerkat or its rivals Compare the Market are in any way involved with the warmongering bastard hidden away in the Kremlin.
In the House of Commons, tensions rage during Prime Minister's questions as opposition leader Sir Keir Starmer interrogates the Prime Minister over his financial ties to the Putin regime.
Order. We now come to the leader of the opposition, Sir Keir Starmer.
Mr. Speaker, across the seas on the continent, our friends and allies in Europe are imposing the toughest sanctions possible on the villainous Putin regime as it marches on Ukraine in a bloody attempt to conquer its people. The people of Ukraine have taken arms against their oppressors and fight in the streets bravely. Why then, Mr. Speaker, when Europe has now sanctioned 350 individuals with their hand in Putin's pockets, are we dithering and delaying? Shall we hazard a guess as to how many this government has sanctioned? Is it 300? No. 100? No. 13, Mr. Speaker. 13. Could the Prime Minister explain to the House why we are so behind the curve in supporting our Ukrainian friends?
Mr. Speaker, I think the right stinky gentleman can see we are doing everything we can to sanction Russia, including, Mr. Speaker, taking them off our Christmas card list. If he had his way, Mr. Speaker, we wouldn't even celebrate Christmas. If he had his way, the Labour Party, Mr. Speaker, would ban Christmas trees. It's true, they would ban Christmas trees. Well, we're pro-Christmas in the Conservative Party, Mr. Speaker, and that's why we got Brexit done.
Mr. Speaker, in July 2020, Eugenie Lebedev was created Baron of Hampton on the advice of the Prime Minister. Last week, the Sunday Times reported that British intelligence had expressed concerns about appointing the son of a Russian KGB officer to the House of Lords, but that those security concerns were dropped after the Prime Minister personally intervened. Will the Prime Minister commit to an investigation by the Intelligence and Security Commission into whether this intervention was contradictory to the safety and security of the nation he is supposed to lead?
Mr. Speaker, I think we can all see what he's doing. Let us not forget, Mr. Speaker, that his predecessor, who he tried to get into number 10, Mr. Speaker, wore a Russian hat sometimes. He's shaking his head, Mr. Speaker, but it's true. Whilst Jeremy Corbyn sat there wearing his Cossack cap, we got on with delivering the vaccine rollout, Mr. Speaker. He wears a bear skin, we put jabs in. Arms. Ha ha!
Oh, for fuck's sake.
We'll come back to Prime Minister's questions later. Meanwhile, in a small chateau in Islington, forgotten ex-Labour MP Jeremy Corbyn mourns Labour's by-election win.
In 2015, I was finally allowed to lead. I thought the Blairites would concede to my socialistic creed. In 2017, we won a moral victory. but not an actual victory. Still, hooray for me. But now I'm all by myself. No party left to lead, all by myself. In 2019, I wasn't having very much fun. Because the Tories had a smoking gun.
Get Brexit done.
Get Brexit done. I mean, it's a 3-word slogan. I had a fully costed fucking manifesto, don't you know? All by myself. I had to resign all by myself. Here's a whore. All by myself. It's all about me. All by myself. Look at me. I'm Jeremy fucking Corbyn. Oh, it's time for the slow bit, I suppose.
If you can see that far, look on the wall right over there that surrounds this wonderful festival. And there's a message on that wall for President Donald Trump.
What have you?
And do you know what it says?
Have you?
Build bridges, not walls.
Meanwhile, over in the Foreign Office, Foreign Secretary Liz Truss is making plans for her trip to Lithuania.
Too sexy for my love, too sexy for my love, love's going to leave.
Right, Mum, it's very simple. Flight leaves at 4 a.m, landing in Vilnius at 6:35 a.m. Our first meeting is with President Nausėda at 9 a.m, followed by a tour of the Lithuanian wheat mill at 11 a.m. Then we have lunch with the ambassador, followed by a drinks reception at the British Embassy for other Slavic dignitaries. Finally, we fly back at 11 p.m.
No, that won't do at all.
I'm sorry?
I need at least 2 hours setting aside for photo shoot opportunities.
Mom, we are on a very short...
Wheat mill, you say?
Yes, Mom.
It's not very sexy, is it?
I'm sorry.
Got my image to think about, Larry. What else do they have in Lithuania? Do they export sexy firemen or something?
No, Mom. They have a pretty decent tobacco trade.
Smoking, you say? Well, that's quite sexy, isn't it?
Not really, Mom.
Well, I think it is, especially if it's in one of those long cigarette holders.
It doesn't poll well with the under 40s.
And wheat does.
It's inoffensive, I suppose, although there's always the celiacs, but you can't please everyone.
Fine. Set another half hour aside at the wheat mill for photos. And call Gok. I want to look fabulous.
My love, love's going to leave me. And I am too sexy for this song.
Over at Scotland Yard, outgoing Commissioner Cressida Dick and Senior Detective Greg Gregson are reviewing the evidence supplied by the Prime Minister in the case of the Downing Street parties.
Right, how bad is it?
He's literally just written, "Get Brexit done" for every answer. Then he's doodled a little picture of a cupcake and written, "Let me off and I'll buy you a chalky muffin."
Oh, for fuck's sake.
What do we do?
Oh, who gives a shit? I'll be gone soon. Just keep stalling long enough for me to get my peerage and then book the cunt for all I care.
I'm not sure we can stall for much longer, Ma'am.
And we've got some protesters we can rough up. Take the attention off this case.
I don't think so, Ma'am. We thought the whole Ukraine thing might do it, but Terry says he's still getting a fuck ton of emails each day.
Bollocks.
We could send out more questionnaires, pretend we need more evidence.
It's risky. I mean, we've basically got everything we need, and every man and his fucking dog knows the fucker's guilty as sin.
I know. What about Rishi? Did we send him one?
No, good shout. Send Rishi one. That'll give us another week. Good thinking, Greg.
Some are, some are not.
Got a few seconds left. Have you received your questionnaire from the Metropolitan Police yet?
No.
Are you expecting to receive one?
No.
Are you worried about...
I don't know.
Do you believe you may have broken the rules?
No.
The lockdown rules? No, okay.
Mr. Sunak, sorry to bother you, sir. There's a letter here from the Metropolitan Police.
Oh, fuck shit. Best bring this interview to a close.
The Prime Minister has my total support.
Thank you.
Back at Prime Minister's questions, Keir Starmer is asking his final question of the day.
Mr. Speaker, it's become increasingly apparent with Partygate, Wallpapergate, Sleazegate, and now Russiagate that the Prime Minister's castle is all gate, no wall, and common sense is escaping. Does he have no self-reflection? He has, in his career, taken over £2 million in donations from Russian businessmen and oligarchs. And now, when it matters, he drags his feet, issuing sanctions against a brutal and corrupt warmongering regime. He's either not got the slightest clue how to lead, or he feels he owes more to his Russian donors than to this country's allies. So which is it, Mr. Speaker? Clueless or corrupt?
Mr. Speaker, what Putin's regime is doing in Ukraine, I think we can all agree is terrible. But, Mr. Speaker, we cannot blame all mega-rich Putin-supporting Russian oligarchs. To do so would be, I'm sure you'll agree, Mr. Speaker, evil. You know who else is evil? Hitler. I think you know where I'm going with this. That's right. Have you ever seen the right smelly gentleman in the same room as Hitler, Mr. Speaker? No. Well, while we're busy getting on with the priorities of this country, making sure the Conservative Party is fully bought and paid for, he's dithering around trying to clean up politics. Well, I'll tell you what's dirty, Mr. Speaker. His mum.
Oh, come on, you can't say that. Have you no decency? You're a disgrace.
Order! The leader of the opposition will sit down. You address me in this house. We don't talk directly to one another. Back in Islington, Jeremy is still mourning what's left of his shattered career.
Yes, I lost for sure. Now I'm irrelevant and obscure. But by God, my politics are pure. And really, what matters? Winning the argument or winning elections? Well, I won the argument, Keith. Oh, myself. Wanna be all by myself anymore. Don't wanna live all by myself anymore. All by myself. Don't wanna be all by myself anymore. What am I going to do? Wanna be? As I retire to Guam, get a small hut on the beach. Fuck you, Keith. God, this song goes on forever. All by myself. This is really hurting my voice now. Don't wanna be all by